So hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry, clocking into TikTok. And when I say clocking in, I should go ahead and say that I'm clocking into TikTok. I like saying clocking into TikTok because it's TikTok. In TikTok, it makes you think about a clock and numbers and all that. But I've got to be really, really careful because the thing about me is when I first started going live, and I'm thinking now this might be like my 12th, 13th, maybe my 13th time going live. I've kind of lost count of it now, but this might be my 13th time going live. The first time I went live, I was very, very nervous. And as I've, gone live like the second time, the third time, the fourth time, on up from that, I've actually come to find out that I really, really like it. But when I first get on, I'm amped up and everything from the day and coffee and all that. But I actually like going live because it's just a way for me to calm down, and really it's also a way for me to reach out to more people. But at the same time, I want to say that um, I also upload my videos, not just on TikTok, but I'm also over on YouTube. If you want to find me on YouTube, you can find me under my channel. My channel altogether is called Sunset Songs. And if you want to find me on YouTube, you want to look for me under Sunset Songs. You could also find me under Sherry Shadow Closet. That's what I go under here on TikTok. But I carry that over on YouTube as well. Again, Sherry Shadow Closet. And then you can find me under Shadow Girl Sherry, because I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. But the thing about it is with me, being that I am a talker, most people that know me in everyday life, they have a tendency to think that I'm real quiet until they get to know me. And then they find out that, if I'm around you and, we're, in the same crowd or whatever, you'll find out that I'm actually really, really talkative, really. I've got a lot to talk about, but I just have to feel comfortable. So guys, with that being said, if this has popped up on your For You page, I kind of feel like, being that I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, you have no idea what I look like, because I don't appear in my videos. I just put up like a picture. I put up like a picture in my video, or a picture up where the picture has been taken from my phone or my personal phone. And it could, pictures, because guys, my channel Sunset Songs is all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. So the pictures that I put up, they are usually pictures taken from my phone of my journey in life. My personal journey with the law of attraction. And if you're watching this, you probably already know what the law of attraction is. The law of attraction is the idea that like attracts like. Through your positive thinking, you would be attracting the same, the such. With your positive thinking, hanging out with positive people, doing positive things, you're attracting that back into your life, and that would be the positive. And that's what I'm trying to have happen here with my channel. That's why I got all this started. On the other hand, if you are thinking negative, hanging out with negative people, doing negative things, then you would be attracting the negative back into your life. And guys, I want to go ahead and say as well that I do know that it's a world of duality. And, there are lots of shadows. Obviously, I mean, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, so that really is an indication that I need to do shadow work myself. And even just looking at the card, the picture that you're looking at right now, which I'm going to explain, we know that it's a world of duality. Things aren't perfect all the time. And guys, also, this is the anniversary, the 24-year anniversary of the attacks, the 9/11 attacks. It was September 11th of 2001, where there were the attacks on the World Trade Center, the towers, the Twin Towers. And that is why you are looking at this particular picture right now. If you're not aware of what you're looking at, this is actually a card in the tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And it is called the Tower. It is, to me, the most feared card in the deck. Of course, there is the Death card. There are different cards that, people fear. But I will say that I've I have pulled the death card before. Now, was everything perfect at that point? That's a whole other story. And was there a death? There was a death when I pulled the card, but I don't think that it really had anything to do with the reading, really. That's a whole other story, because if I got into it, I'd be talking too much. And I think I've already done that, because there was something I was trying to say and I got off point from that. Um, I forgot what I was saying. I got off point from it. Guys, I am a Gemini. So, when I say I talk, when I start talking, I start talking. And again, I'm a Gemini. So, Gemini is the social butterfly, of the zodiac. But guys, I'm trying to remember what I was trying to get at when I was saying, and guys, I can't remember. So I just got to jump into this. Guys, I want to say something before I get started. The other night, guys, if you're into spirituality, manifestation, all that, and most likely if you're watching this video, you are. The other night we had I think it was Sunday, we had the full blood moon. And after that, on the day before yesterday, today's the 11th. So 2 days ago on the 9th, we had the 999 portal. So it was the 9th month, September, the 9th month, 9th day. And then we had another 9 because this is the year 2025. And when you take the number 2, 0, 2, and 5, I think I said that right. You take the number of the year. You get what I'm saying? 2025, add all those numbers together, you get 9. So we had a 999 portal. And that was said to come with a very, very powerful energy, especially being the fact that this is a number 9 year. Again, this is a number 9 year. And I will tell you that it has been said a lot in the spiritual community. If you are experiencing a lot of chaos this year, that kind of thing, it's actually a good thing, because you should be experiencing that, because we are in a time of, the number 9 is about change. It's about transformation. It's also the year of the snake. And the thing about a snake is it's about change. Why is it about change? Number one, because the way that a snake, it sheds its skin. So when it sheds its skin, it's left something behind. So you've got to go through some changes this year and leave the old you behind, the old way, the old habits and all that behind. That most likely that's going to come with some chaos in order to have change. But then you got the number 10 coming, and that's a good thing. So you have to go through these changes or whatever. So there's chaos, all that, but then there's something good after it. So just keep that in mind if you're going through a lot. But again, guys, you are looking at a very rather traumatic card. I would say that this is probably, for me, this is definitely the worst card of the deck. And I've never pulled it. I don't want to pull it. Yeah, I don't even really like looking at it right now. But to me, whenever I think about this day, and I think about what happened on 9/11, for whatever reason, I mean, I think you can look at it and tell why. This puts me in mind of what happened on September 11th of 2001. But guys, before I jump into all that, I want to say that with that 999 portal, I went live with here on TikTok, and I went live on TikTok, and what I did, the picture that I put up was actually a picture of a telephone, and it was an old school telephone. It wasn't a cell phone. It's an old school telephone, and on the telephone, it said, let's see, unknown caller. And then the words that I put up over top of the picture was "the universe is calling." And that just stood for the fact that it was the 999 portal. And it's said to be a portal of, guys, you're basically, that kind of a portal hasn't happened in a long, long time. And we're not supposed to have one quite that powerful for a while, right? So it was said to be like this big thing, whether you knew it or not. And it's always said that whether you know it or not, you're always manifesting. Like there's some people, they don't believe in it, but you're always manifesting. I mean, think about it. If you're thinking negative, then when you're thinking negative, what you're going to go and you might overeat or you is manifesting. I mean, think about it. If you're thinking negative, then when you're thinking negative, what you're going to go and you might overeat or you might go and hang out with somebody else that's thinking negative. And then what are you going to do? You're just, it grows basically. So guys, just think about it. You're always manifesting, whether you know it or not. And I truly believe that. But anyhow, guys, basically. So guys, just think about it. You're always manifesting, whether you know it or not. And I truly believe that. But anyhow, guys, guys, it was so funny because, it wasn't even 24 hours later after I made the, that video, after I went live, on the 99 portal, and it was after 9 o'clock, or after I made the, that video, after I went live, on the 99 portal, and it was after 9 o'clock live on the 99 portal. It wasn't even 24 hours later, that I received an old-fashioned, like, phone call. Like my phone rang. It wasn't a text message or anything like that. My phone rang. I heard it. And, a lot of people, not everybody's about these long telephone conversations. It's, it's the thing of texting and everything quick. Heard it. And, a lot of people, not everybody's about these long telephone conversations. It's, it's the thing of texting and everything quick. But I received a phone call and it was such a good, unexpected, like it said on the picture, unknown caller. I had no idea that this phone call would have come my way. It was a phone call that I should have made, but I was I just thought it wouldn't happen. Like it was impossible for this to happen. It's not going to happen, and unheard of to happen. And it happened, and I'm like, what? Am I looking at this right? And so it really did happen. It's funny that I put that picture up and then not even 24 hours later, my phone rings and I get this wonderful news. And I won't say what it is because I don't want to jinx it. Have you ever heard of that thing? Well, okay, you got something good going, move in silence. Don't tell anybody. Everybody will know when it happens. So I don't want to jinx it. So anyhow, but I just wanted to share that. The other thing that I think I was trying to say is that if you are, I want to say hi to everybody. I see a Cherie. I want to say hi to you guys. See a Cherie. I want to say hi to you guys. Victor. Guys, I want to say hi to you all. I think about Victor, Victory. Yeah, these are wonderful names. Okay, guys. Victor. Guys, I want to say hi to you all. I think about Victor, Victory. Yeah. These are wonderful names. Okay, guys. So, hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry. Again, if you are, if this has popped up on your For You page, I really do believe that, probably in real life, if we were around each other and we actually, we were around each other and we actually, I don't know, got into a conversation, we could possibly be friends in real life. That's just the way I feel if this has come up on your For You page. But I want to say, guys, when you look at this, I don't want you to, if you feel if you actually lost someone on September 11th, I didn't put this picture up to bring any type of discomfort or anything. And if you're looking at this and you're feeling that way, I want you to think about, instead of thinking of it in terms of you lost someone on September 11th, a lot of people did. A lot of people lost loved ones on September 11th. And I can't help that when I think about September 11th, I think about this card. I mean, the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers, and this is a tower card. And, people, you see what's going on. If it's bringing you any kind of pain, that's not what I was going for. The idea is, what I want you to think about is the angel number 911. Because really, if you're into angel numbers and all that, I would think that, a lot of people, we had a lot of, what should I say? A lot of angels were born that day. I'll say that. And I hope you'll find that to be a comfort. When I think about, I didn't lose anyone on that day, but whenever I think about people that I have lost, after a while, it's not initially when it happens, it's very, very painful. But then after a while, you start to feel like you have somebody on the other side. It's not initially when it happens, it's very, very painful. But then after a while, you start to feel like you have somebody on the other side. And when you see those angel numbers, it's like, wow, you feel something. At least I do. When you see those feathers, like you have somebody on the other side. And when you see those angel numbers, it's like, wow, you feel something. At least I do. When you see those feathers, you find a feather or something, it might make you think of it because you think about an angel and you think about how birds fly. And of course, birds, the feather is a wing or something like that. And you get what I'm saying. Angels, birds, wings, all that. When you see those kind of things, it could make you feel a certain way. The angel number 911, because obviously today is the 9th month, 11th day. And guys, I want to say that when I first started getting into spirituality, the law of attraction and all that, I think there's been a couple of times where I've gotten on and, I'll be talking real fast because, coffee, and I'm a little ADHD, a little bit of anxiety, depression, and things like that. And when I get on here with you guys, as I ease into the live, I find myself calming down. But at the same time, I'm talking fast because I'm trying to get everything out. But basically, I think I've said before that maybe I may have said before, talking really fast, that my journey with spirituality and the law of attraction began when we all had to go inside our homes for COVID-19. Okay. COVID-19, of course, we all had to go inside of our homes. And it was a time where, before, the church doors were open, there may have been, people that were going to church, whatever, maybe you weren't, whatever. But when that time came, I think a lot of people, you wondered, okay, what am I going to do with this time? Some people may have been reading their Bibles. Some people may have gotten to the point where they gave up on that. They didn't know what to think. And then you may have gotten into spirituality. And when I say spirituality, I mean, you could still believe in like God, but when I say spirituality, or when I'm talking about my channel here, whatever, it depends on, I kind of really feel like some people just call it God, but to other people, if you were born somewhere else, it could be, it could be, you could have a different belief, but it's not to say you're a horrible person. It's just, you were born somewhere where maybe it was called a different thing. I hope you get what I'm saying. So everybody, you think what you think, but I mean, I kind of feel like I could find a way to fit you in here, basically. And if you feel like you're a misfit, I'm going to say that I think that somewhere along the line, I could make you feel like you fit in here somewhere. In some video, I'm going to make you feel that way. I really do believe that, because I'm a bit of a misfit. That's a whole other story. But again, I may have said somewhere along the line that my journey with spirituality started, a whole other story. But again, I may have said somewhere along the line that my journey with spirituality started, during COVID-19. But really it began before that, with the law of attraction and spirituality, reading the first book that I ever read, when I got into spirituality was The Secret. Okay. That was the first book I ever read when I got into spirituality. But I really started getting into spirituality and the law of attraction and all that when my mother got sick. My mother, was sick for about 10 years, very, very sick. And, she succumbed to the problems that she was having, and she passed. Very, very hard situation, whatever. So I got deeper into, spirituality and all that. And, people may think what they think, whatever, but I started getting into tarot cards. I'm like, man, what do I do with myself? You get what I'm saying? But basically, the first number angel number, and guys, really, I didn't even know what an angel number was. A lot of people when they think about angel numbers, they think of 1111. I'll never forget when I was somewhere and somebody said, oh, it's 1111, make a wish. I had never heard of that before. And I'm being real. I'd never heard of 1111. Just maybe I lived under a rock, I don't know, but I never heard of it. Never heard of that before. But one thing that I'm going to say, the first angel number that ever reached out to me was angel number 911, and I'm going to quickly say how it happened. It was going on during the time of my mom's. Really say how it happened. It was going on during the time of my mom's. He was, and oh, how she worked so hard, and then, here she worked hard, always dressed in a uniform and everything, and then now here she's fighting for her life, really. And I'm like, she didn't get to do all the things that she would have wanted to do. Like, illness just fell on her, and then the next thing you know, it took her out. So I'm like, I want to enjoy something before that time comes for me. So that's why I got into more of trying to live more of a magical life than over top of the mundane. So, it's not that I don't believe in God. I go to church. I take my grandmother to church, all those different things. I believe, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not going to tell everybody, okay, that I'm into tarot cards and things like that, because they'll get the wrong idea about it. That's part of the reason why I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, and I don't basically advertise and tell everybody about my channel. Like, everyday people, my friends, family members, if you don't live in my house, like, I don't advertise and let everybody know that I even have a channel, Sunset Songs, or that I'm Shadow Girl Sherry, because some of them may get the wrong idea. Oh, you're doing evil things because you talk about how you like herbs, and you have, you know what I mean? Like, you like tarot cards. That stuff is evil. And wow, I mean, walk through my shoes and realize some of the things that I've gone through. And it's like, I had to do something to get by. So I don't advertise. So again, if you're watching this has popped up on your For You page, whatever. I kind of feel like in real life we could be real friends. You don't know what I look like and all that, but it's a safety, it's a comfort thing, it's a safety thing, and it's just a being real thing. Because again, if everyday people that knew me, everybody, if I just told, okay, well, go ahead and tell you my channel, and they look it up, they'd be like, oh, this stuff is terrible. And you get what I'm saying. So, but the first, I'm going to say this quickly, and because I got to start talking, guys. When it comes to the angel number 911, and I'll say this real quick. Even before I got into spirituality with the death of my mother, and before that, her going through her illness and everything, even I always knew that I was into kind of different kind of things, like witchy things, and I had an interest in different things because I always liked the look of a tarot card. I always like they always looked interesting to me. I was always drawn to them. I was always drawn to the movies that had tarot readers and fortune tellers and crystal balls and the Halloween costumes of the fortune teller, or let's see, the movies, the movies, The Craft, The Craft, Practical Magic. I'll even say this, there was a fortune teller, or I won't say a fortune teller, but there was a tarot reader on this episode, or not episode, a soap opera. It was called Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives. And like, I was in, school, whatever, but I knew about the show Days of Our Lives, and the soap opera. And if I kind of, had a day off from school, whatever like that, there was a particular lady, she was an African-American lady on that show, and her name was Celeste. And you can see why they would have named her Celeste. They called her Celeste on the show. She was really into tarot cards. And I mean, when she would get into her readings and things like that, it was so dramatic. And I always liked her. She was African American. She had this accent, real pretty accent. She was an attractive woman. And I believe she had a crush on this guy. He was a trip on the show. His name was Stefano DiMera. Guys, if you want to look it up, it'll even pop up on Wikipedia, I think, of, the character Celeste on Days of Our. If you want to look it up, it'll even pop up on Wikipedia, I think, of, the character Celeste on Days of Our Lives. That's a whole other thing. I really got to jump into this, guys, because I want to keep this serious. because of the fact of the tarot card that you are looking at right now and this day. But basically, the reason why I wanted to do this this episode, or this, what I call it an episode, this live tonight, was to talk about the angel number 911 and the number 911 altogether. And just, oh God, guys, I have so much stuff to talk about, really, when it comes to this angel number and just the way that I feel about this day, really. This was a very emotional day, 9/11. And I've got to tailor it and think about everything that it makes me think of. But guys, one thing that I want to come out and tell you guys, again, when you look at this, please don't look at it and think of. But guys, one thing that I want to come out and tell you guys, again, when you look at this, please don't look at it and look at it in a way of that I'm trying to scare you or anything like that. This is, to me, the worst card that you could pull in the deck. But again, if you lost someone on 9/11, I want you to look at it and look at this as it's the angel number 9/11, because we all have people that have crossed over. But the one thing, after a while, I'm not going to say it's a comfort, but you feel like if you look at it in terms of, okay, you have somebody looking out for you. That's the way that I kind of want you to try to look at it. But I can't help that this is the card that I think of, always pops up into my mind when I think about what happened on this very, very fateful day 24 years ago. And I think that, and I don't want to give away age. I don't like to talk about age, but I do think that, I definitely know that September 11th was one of those days where, when you think back, you can remember exactly what you were doing when you found out about the news, when you found out what was going on. And I'm just going to say a little something about that. I don't want to give away age. I don't want to give away age, but I can remember that at that point I was going into work at 3:00. I had to be at work at 3:00. And so the night before, I think that I had worked. I had worked that 3 to 11 shift. And, obviously, any of the shifts like that, you know what I mean? Or you get home, you might be wired, you might be tired, whatever. But the next morning, I wasn't up moving around. I'm trying to sleep a little bit extra. And so I remember that there was a woman who, there was somebody that I was actually trying to, I had a way that I was making money, like on the side, trying to build and kind of get away from the type of work that I was doing. So this woman comes and knocks on my door. Basically, I was trying to sell things, and I'm not going to go into all that. But this particular woman comes and knocks on my door, and I'm all tired and waking up and whatever, and hadn't had that coffee yet. And I come to the door, open up the door, and she's like, "Have you heard? You must haven't you haven't heard." And I'm like, "Haven't heard about what?" And then she goes into it, and I go and I turn the TV on, and it's like, oh wow. And then the people that I was living with at the time, they came home and they're telling me what they were doing when it happened and all that. So I think that everybody can really remember what they were doing when it happened. And guys, I really got to think, because I have so much to talk about when it comes to this, the way that I feel about this day, the way that I feel about the particular angel number 9/11, again, because angel number 9/11 is the first angel number that ever reached out to me. So I think that maybe that is where I should start. For me, when I first started seeing the angel number 9/11, I was going through a lot. My mom was sick at that point, and she was very, very sick. And I was fortunate enough that I did get to spend a lot of time with her during the last 10 years of her life. She was very, very sick. And she would have to, it would come to the point at night where she would have to, in order to make it through, to get through the night, she had something where she had to it was like a nutritional thing that she had to be plugged into at night, that was the way she was fed. And when I tell you all this stuff, it was very, very hard for me to go through. But she would get herself, together every night and be getting herself together to do what she had to do with that. And then I remember there was a design that I was working on. There were different things that I would do trying to keep my mind occupied. And anyhow, during that time, it got to a point where I started seeing this number. And it was 911, obviously. It's the first angel number that reached out to me. I would look at the clock in the morning and, I'd just be doing whatever. And I'd look over at the clock. And at that point, the clock that we had, it was a digital clock, and it had the red, like the red numbers that was on it. And I would just be doing anything at 9:11 in the morning. I just happened to glance over, and it's 9:11. Okay. Then it would be nothing for 9:11 to come at night. I hadn't planned for it or anything. I'd be doing whatever I was doing. My mom may have been doing, whatever she was doing. She's very, very sick, vomiting a lot, all this different stuff. I'm having a hard time. She's having a hard time. I would look over at the clock, and it's 9:11. After a while, I kept noticing, I'm like, okay, now it started to scare me. Because again, the digits, what I'm saying, they're red, bright red. And I'm like, oh man. And after a while, I started telling my mom about it. I'm like, and I called her mommy. Even, I'm this older, I'm a woman, but she was staying with me because she's very, very sick. And, it was myself, my grandmother, had the three amigas going on. And, we're all taking care of each other, looking out for each other, whatever. And, I look over at my mom and I'm like, Mommy, I don't know why I keep seeing that number. It's always staring at me, and it's kind of scaring me, 9/11. So guys, again, if you're watching this, I'm going to say it again. If you are, this has popped up on your For You page, whether you've joined or not, or if you've joined, I'm going to say it again. I kind of feel like if you're watching this, there's a big possibility that in real life we could possibly be friends. And it's not like in real life I have tons of friends. I don't have tons of friends. Like, I kind of feel like when I become friends with somebody, it's because, I don't know, we really have something in common. And I don't call everybody my friend. Like, it takes time for me to like trust somebody and all that. Now, guys, I'm looking at my phone. It just happened. My phone's at 69%. I see that one a lot on my phone, a lot lately when I go live. And I've made other videos about, adding the number 3 in front of that 69, and then you've got 369. That's other videos. If you want to go and find out more about that, then, guys, I'd really like it if you would like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, all those different things, and share my channel with somebody else that they're trying to be positive. And guys, even if they're trying to be negative, maybe they need to join so they can start looking at things on a more positive side. But again, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. You're looking at a Tower tarot card. It looks very scary. So I do know that it's a world of duality. So we talk about a little bit of everything. We're trying to transmute it. If it's negative, we're trying to transmute it into the positive. That's what I'm going to say. But if you are tuning into this, I kind of feel like we could be friends in real life. With that being said, this is all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. My channel is about my personal journey with the law of attraction, but it's just about my life. And that's why with a lot of, my, what is it? The thumbnail? I'm dummy. God, I'm sorry. The pictures that I put up for my videos, they come out of my phone. Like this, the pictures come out of my phone. Now, not this one, because this is my picture of, from my actual tarot deck. And this is the Tower. Okay. This is a real tarot card. But with that being said, this is my real life journey and everything with life. So with that being said, if you're watching this, I'm going to say it again. I really do feel like there's a possibility in real life we could be real friends if I knew you, because you're watching this and you're probably into tarot cards and all that. You get what I'm saying? So basically guys, oh gosh, I get off track or whatever, but, when I go back and I look at this, then I'll be like, oh, I meant to say this. And then I'll bring it up another time. But guys, this just came to me. Guys, if you didn't really get to work with that 999 portal the other night, I want to tell you to kind of mark your calendars and remember that we had a 9-9 portal, but we basically have another one coming up. If you didn't work with that energy, you can work with it again, and maybe not as powerful, but it's got to be powerful. You know what I'm saying? On the 9th, on this month, September, what is it? The 18th. You can work with the number 9 again. What changes do you want to see in your life? Because think about it. When you take 18, you add that to one number, to be one number. You add 8, you add 1 to it, you've got the number 9. So you can work with that energy again. You also get it again on the 27th of September. 27th, the 18th of this month, and the 27th of September, because you have the 9th month. And then again, you have, you take the number 27, you add the 7 and the 2 together, and you've got 9. So I want to tell you guys that. So if you want to get you some bay leaves or something to burn, or maybe by then, maybe I'll have a chance to do something. I'll probably go live again, or we'll be able to do something together. Maybe I'm not going to make any promises. Chaotic in my life or whatever, but I try to reach out with you guys as much as I can. But I'm trying to get back to chaotic in my life or whatever, but I try to reach out with you guys as much as I can. But I'm trying to get back to that are coming up. So you still have a chance. Angel number 911, and the fact that I kept seeing it while my mother was sick. She's going through all these different things. I've told you it's a very, very hard time. And again, if you were watching this, I do feel like in real life, like, again, guys, I don't advertise my channel to just everybody. If anybody that I've told my channel, I've told them, okay, I've got this channel, Sunset Songs. I'm Shadow Girl Sherry. This is somebody that's really close to me. I'm talking, okay, my brother, people like that, really, really people that are really close to me. But other family members, not saying that I don't want to be close to them, but if they find me, they find me, but I don't advertise it. So if you're watching this, I kind of feel comfortable enough to kind of share more things with you that I may not share with people that I share blood with, like we're in the same bloodline. But that is because I feel like, in a way, I'm kind of like I'm a black sheep in my family. And I kind of feel that way. Not that I feel like they're trying to make me feel that way, but again, I kind of wonder what they might get the wrong idea. If you know, tarot cards and all that's evil. There's been times in my life where I've had to find something to get by to the next day. I mean, when I'm telling you about my mom, it was very, very hard. Watching her go through the illness she was going through, watching her gasp for her last breath. I was in the room where she's gasping and, reaching for air that wasn't there anymore. She was on life support and they took her off and I was in the room. It was very, very hard. I know a lot of people have been through it. But again, when you look at this tarot card here, I want you to know that there were a lot of people. It's not that it's necessarily going to take that away. I mean, it's been 24 years, but there were a lot of people that lost people that day. And imagine if you were to talk to another person, if you lost someone and then you talk to another person that lost someone that day. To me, it seems like you would have, that person might become, if you went and you had coffee or something together, it might be like, you know what, I'd like to talk to you again. Like, that not everybody feels this pain that we feel. Okay, so I'll just say that. So, but basically, guys, the first angel number that ever reached out to me was angel number 911. It happened when my mother was really, really ill. And I'm going through all this stuff with her, seeing her vomiting and, all that different stuff. And, I'll have to share more, as as I go through my channel and everything like that. But again, just know that if you are watching this, I really do believe in real life we could really be friends, and like we wouldn't have all kinds of secrets between us, because I tell you, well, I did a tarot reading last night and this is what I got, and let's talk about it. Like my best friend and I, she's like going through some really hard stuff, and it's everything that it's kind of, oh, it's a long story, but basically, she and she was like one of the only people that I could talk to about this kind of stuff, because other people, they wouldn't get it. But, we were both really getting deep into this stuff at the same time. So, let me keep talking, guys. And I want to say hi to everybody. I'm trying to read some names here. Let's see, Astria. Guys, I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This is Shadow Girl Sherry. I think I've said a million times, if we were met in real life, I really do believe that we could be really, really good friends. But again, I wanted to talk about the angel number 911, and I'm so talkative. Guys, they always tell me here on TikTok, okay, obviously on TikTok, it's called TikTok. So, it's about the clock, really. And you're supposed to keep things short. You know what I mean? And they always say, every time I get off from my live, they're like, okay, there's a message left to me that you have talked longer, or had congratulations. You have went over like 90% of the people, in the amount of time that I went live, over this amount of people, you held on that long. And basically it says, okay, do you want to resume your live? I've never resumed the live because it always goes over an hour. I have no problem talking for an hour. I could talk longer. But at the same time, can be a little bit of a problem, because I have no problems uploading. I can take the replay and upload it on YouTube. And that's usually what I do. But here on TikTok, you have an hour. They give you 60 minutes. After that, they won't put up anything longer than 60 minutes. So I'm trying to keep this to stop talking, and then I'll be able to upload the replay here on TikTok. But if not, know that you can go over on YouTube, Sunset Songs, Shadow Girl Sherry, Sherry Shadow Closet, and you can find me over there as well. And I hope that you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe. The first time I went live, I explained to you what all it means to me when you do that. You're letting me know that, just, guys, I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to watch the video on here. The first time I went live, it was called Lights, Camera, Action. It's all explained there, what you do every time you like, click, share, subscribe, all that. But it would be a little bit too much to talk about that tonight, because I have so many other things to talk about when it comes to this angel number 911. If I don't, which I know I'm not going to finish it, I'm going to have to come back on I'm going to try to talk about 9/11 or the number 9 altogether, in any kind of way that it comes, on this month, the 9th month, 18th day, the 18th of this month, and the 27th of this month. I'm going to try to do that. But either way, sometime, guys, just like, click, share, subscribe, come back and hang out with me when I come on live. I'll say that, because I have a million stories to tell. Million stories to tell, guys. And again, in real life, if you're on here, I really do believe that we went out and had coffee, we had espresso, whatever, had some type of, we would really be having a good time together, right? And we'd probably be doing readings and all that different stuff. So anyhow, again, but I want to say again, with the angel number 911, it's the first angel number that I ever pulled, or that I ever reached out to me. Like, I kept seeing it, and it kept appearing on the clock in red digital letters, and which that those letter red, I mean, and it's on the clock. Red obviously is the color of the root chakra. It's also the color of blood. Okay. And blood is in, it's life force. So I was just looking at it, and that's just what I saw. I'm like, man, that's red. And obviously if I saw 10, 10, 12, or 5, 13, or whatever, those numbers, I don't know why those numbers popped up. Maybe you should go and look up what those numbers mean. Anyhow, because they just popped up in my mind. But anyhow, guys, and you're listening. But anyhow, if those numbers or any other number popped up, I don't know, like I don't know. I kept seeing those numbers, 9/11, and it was in red. And I kept seeing the same number over and over and over again, the color red, and it's on my clock. And just the times that I was going through at that point. So basically what happened was, guys, and this is only being real, what happened to me was, with all the stress and everything that was going on in my life, my mother being sick and wondering, oh my gosh, is she going to get better? It was a journey, crazy time in my life, very, very hard time in my life. What happened was, I actually wound up having like a nervous breakdown, and I wound up being hospitalized. So what happened was, in my church family, whatever, my grandmother's family, people that's going to my church, the families of the churches that, were kind of like connected with my family and different things like that. They were all praying for me and everything. And, because I got really, really sick. I had mixed up some meds, and, it was crazy. And, so what happened was, I was hospitalized. I had a nervous breakdown. And at some point, I was in the hospital. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Even before I got hospitalized, I was thinking, I need to see what does it mean? What does it mean? So I got in the hospital, and being in there, whatever, it came to me. I'm like, the minute I step foot on ground, I get my feet on the pavement outside, and I leave out of this hospital, I'm going to look up what it means when you keep seeing a number over and over again, because I'd never had it really happen before. Again, that whole 11/11 thing, I'd never heard of it. I know that a lot of people know about 11/11. Well, at this point, I didn't know anything about 11/11, never heard of it. Nobody in my family had ever said anything about it. Because I've heard other people say that their parents told them, or somebody told them about 11/11. I had no idea. I never had it happen. I just saw this number 9/11 kept popping up. So when I got out of the hospital, when I'm in the hospital, I'm thinking, the moment I step foot on land, I'm going to look it up and see what it means. What does it mean when you keep seeing a number repeatedly? I get back, I get home, I look it up, and it says, okay, this is like a phenomenon that people are saying more and more is happening to them. More and more people are coming out saying that they're seeing the same number over and over again. And depending on what number it is, the idea was that I looked up was, it's a phenomenon that lots of people are going through. And especially lately it had been going on. And, the idea is there is an angel, or, maybe a crossover loved one that is trying to reach out to you. And obviously numbers are something that you can see numbers everywhere, that obviously, an angel or whatever, they can't talk to you. You know what I mean? So they're trying to find a way to reach out to you. So obviously life is governed by numbers. You've got the clock. You've got numbers on a telephone. You've got the hours in the day. You've got license plates. Numbers, okay, money, everything, receipts. You go to the grocery store, there's receipts. I've seen 7-Eleven on receipts. Yeah, any number could be an angel number. But again, I'm going to say, and I've gotten the number 7-Eleven on a receipt, whole other thing. But, my best friend and I it was one year during the 555 portal, she was driving through McDonald's, and, on her way to work. And it just so happened that on the 5th day, the 555 portal was open. We weren't even thinking about it. Really, we weren't thinking about it. And later on, I'm like, wait a minute. It came to me. I found out about it. I kept looking at the calendar and I'm like, wait a minute, I bet you the portal's got to be open 555 or the 5th month, 5th day. But what happened was she's driving through McDonald's and on her way to work, and the price of what she got totaled up to 555. And we both laugh because like we're sitting here together. Like she's going through the drive-through, but I was on the phone. I could hear when the person at the register or whatever come out and said, okay, 555 is your total. And we both just kind of laughed about it. And we didn't say anything, but people think you're crazy. But we laughed about it because we both knew. And then later on, I came back and I told her, I'm like, girl, that was really something, because did you know today was a 555 portal? And of course, maybe she wasn't thinking about it that much. We knew about the number 555, but maybe she wasn't thinking about the fact that that portal was that day, because she was busy going to work and everything. And I was off that day. So I had more time to think, where she's rushing and everything. So later on, got off from work. She called me and I told her, I'm like, girl, we are something together. That doubles it because we were together. So anyhow, but guys, again, the first angel number to reach out to me was 911. And I was hospitalized. I went to the hospital. And when I'm in the hospital, I thought, okay, it came to me. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. When I get out, as soon as my foot hits, touches solid ground, hits land, I am going to look up what it means. I look it up and it says, okay, it means that this is happening to people all around the world. It's, what's happening is there's said to be like an angel or something. They're trying to, somebody that's crossed over is trying to reach out to you. And obviously the world is governed by numbers, receipts, license plates, all these different things. And the idea is, if you keep seeing it, when you wake up, when you become spiritually awake, somebody else could see the number and not even think anything about it. But then there's some people that if they keep seeing a number, they're going to remember, wait a minute, I saw that. Like, I saw that. Like, there was no hiding it. I keep seeing that number. Why do I keep seeing that daggone number? So when you become more spiritually aware, then you're awake, and it's like, wait a minute, I see that. I'm awake and I see that. I'm going to go look it up. So the idea is they want the angel or the person that's, the spirit that's crossed over, your loved one, that's crossed over, whatever, they want to reach out to you. So they're using feathers or they're using numbers to reach as a way to reach out to you, because our lives are governed a lot, numbers are everywhere, So, and that's what it said. So then when I looked up what the angel number 911 meant, I can remember that the first thing that I found out about the angel number 911 was to consider the fact that it, and this is just what I found for this particular number. I'm not saying be worried or anything, but for me, it actually happened. 911, guys, is the number that you see. That's the number that you call when there's an emergency. Obviously, you dial 911. It could be for a good thing. Maybe a woman's pregnant. She's going, she's in labor. You got to get her to the hospital to have her baby. So that's positive. But then again, you got to think about the other reasons you might be calling 911. It's an emergency. And you think about it, what color is, the ambulance? Like when they're coming, it's the red. You see the red lights, and they're trying to let you know, okay, everybody, you got to move out of the way, because here we're coming, and we got to go and pick up somebody's loved one and get them to the hospital, because something could be right. I mean, a baby could be coming, you know what I mean? Or it could be something terribly wrong. And if we don't get them there, then we could have a bad situation here. So a heart attack, I don't even want to say this, but, car accidents, all those different things, the ambulance, the cops, you now 911, like it's emergency. So, basically one of I looked up several meanings to the angel number 911, but the first message that I saw that actually said, after I looked at, okay, what's an angel number? An angel number is a different number that you keep seeing, that where, a loved one or crossover loved one, someone's trying to reach out to you. Okay. But from there, Okay, I had to consider, okay, what's your angel number? My angel number is 911. This number 911 keeps showing up to me, keeps popping up and looking at me in the face. So I go and I look it up. And the first message that I read about it is there might be an emergency that's coming up for you. And basically it's telling you something, a crossover loved one, something is trying to tell you that you need to slow down before you fall down. Basically, you need to slow down before you fall down. Because if you don't, there's going to be an emergency. And see, that really happened to me. I was hospitalized because, there was so much going on in my life. I wasn't really taking care of myself. And at that point, I was trying to tell people around me that I wasn't feeling good. And they didn't want to, they're thinking, okay, well, she's young. And not only that, it was also the fact that we had somebody around us that was already, very, very ill. That was my mom. So how was everybody going to take their eyes off of her and then think, okay, well, she's sick too. Well, you're not as sick as her. I mean, everybody's looking at her. All the concern is on her. But at the same time, then you have to think about the caregivers too. Like, and I was a little bit of a caregiver, you know what I mean? Like, you have to think about the people, anybody can get sick, but she was very, very sick. And the fact that, I was young, nobody wanted to think, okay, well, she's sick or whatever, but I kept, I'm not feeling good. I'm really not feeling good. And it finally happened. I basically had a nervous breakdown, and the rescue squad had to be called for me. And, but when I got out of the hospital, I looked it up, and basically that's what I'll say definition, really. You know what I mean? The first thing I saw was, okay, angel number 911, consider the fact that it's 911. You're going to dial 9 on 911 when you need help. So your angels are basically telling you, and don't get me wrong, there's lots of other things that I've read about 911 too. But the first one that came to me was, okay, consider what you're looking at. You've got a 9 and you've got a 11. Okay, what do you dial? Who do you call? I mean, the cops, the ambulance, 911, hurry up and get here, get us some help. So, and it really did happen. It came to pass because I got sick and someone had to call the ambulance for me. And yeah, I had to go to the hospital. I had a nervous breakdown. It was a very, very hard time in my life. And it's not to say that I don't have, things that I'm dealing with now. I have anxiety. I have depression, little ADHD, So, and I admit it on, here again, because, well, you don't know what I look like, but you don't know who I am. But again, I really do believe if you're watching this, that if I knew you in real life, we would probably have something in common. So, and eventually, hopefully, I'll get to the point where you do know what I look like. You'll know what I look like, but I'm not going to say when that's going to be. Because again, there was a time where it wasn't like this big thing where your newborn baby was just, you've got a new baby in the family. You just had a baby and you're going to be quick to go and put it up for everybody to see online. That was just unheard of at one time. And I don't want to, I'm not 1,000 years old, but, it's not like I'm a teenager either. So, and it just makes me think of what it would be like to grow up in schools now, like what the kids go through now. Like there was a time when it was something else when I was in school, but now the fact if something goes down now, how quickly it could be passed around because of social media. That these kids today, it's like, wow, that's just what I think. So, I'm just not big on putting everything, all my personal pictures and family pictures and things like that online. Like, say you here I sound old here, Facebook, okay? You can't think that everybody that has put a friend request in for you is your friend. Some people get on Facebook because they want to find out what's going on in your life that's not the best, and they're behind that the screen, of the computer or whatever, and they're possibly laughing at you or waiting for your downfall. So yeah, they're waiting for your downfall. So anyhow, you get what I'm saying. But guys, so basically I've told you what my experience with the angel number 911. And I want you to think about that. Just consider that, because it really did happen. 911, the phone really did, or not, or someone really had to call the ambulance for me. It really was an emergency coming my way. So I want you to consider that. But guys, I'm going to quickly say something else. And this is definitely going to have to go over into other videos, because I'm not going to get everything in here today for the 9th month, 11th day. And guys, right now, I want you to go ahead and make a wish. Think about something very, very positive, what you're trying to manifest right now. Let's do it together. We're all up in here together. Because why, guys? It's 11:11 right now. So I just looked at the corner of my phone. It's 11:11. So guys, if you want to leave in the chat, maybe something you're trying to manifest. If you just want to say I claim, or type 11:11 in the comments, whatever, just know that we were all here together. I don't know how many's here right up in the chat, but we were all together at 11:11 at night. So if you want to type what you're leaving in the chat, what you're trying to manifest, or just say claim, I claim, or 11:11, or thank you, thank you, thank you, feel free to leave it in the comments. Also, guys, I'm going to quickly, guys, I've got so much to say. You know that today is 9/11. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I've got so much other information that I'm going to have to put into the next video the next time I go live, or most likely on the 9th month, 18th day, the 18th of this month, or on the 27th of this month. Because again, we have a 9/9 portal again. It just won't be 9/11, but we're still working with that energy of 11 or of 9. And I also want to tell you guys with the angel number 911, think about this as well. If you were to take the numbers 911 is a big significant angel number, because think about it. If you take the number 9 and you add a 1 and a 1, what do you have? You have 11. And 11 is 911 turns into the number 11, because if you take a 9, you add 2, which is the 1 and the 1, you've got 11. 9 and 1 and 1, you got 11. So think about it. It then becomes 11. It looks like a door. So a door looks like a new opportunity. You're stepping into something new. Okay, it's a door. You're stepping into something new. Consider that. And also think about the fact that 11 is a master number when it comes to numerology. So 9/11, to see it, keep seeing it, it's got to be pretty powerful, because the sum of it really comes out to be 11. So I wanted to share that with you. But guys, I want to share something else. It's so weird. We're talking about, what happened. I should have been talking about it more, but I'm so talkative. There is my channel is called Sunset Songs, right? So for every episode, I should have did this in the very beginning, but it just didn't fit in there right. My channel is called Sunset Songs. With that being said, guys, I always say that I truly believe that music has a way of making you feel some type of way. If you obviously here on my channel, I try to keep things positive, as upbeat as I can. So the idea is, if you are tired, you could be tired, and you go and you listen to an upbeat song, it could lift you up and make you feel better. If you are depressed, you could go and listen to a happy song. And guys, I wish I had time enough to tell you what happened one time when my mom was sick. And I'll hurry up and say it. My mom was sick. I told you she was very, very sick. There was this one particular time I said, well, Mommy, I can see in your eyes you're very, very, you're sad right now. And I said, okay, but there's one thing that I can do. I can't grant everything for you. I said, but one thing that I can do, I'm like, Mommy, do you remember back in the day where there was a time you had to go, and if you wanted to hear a song, you had to call a radio station and request it or something, or you had to wait for a song to come on? You had a favorite song. Let's say Taylor Swift. Okay, back in the day, you're a Taylor Swift fan. You would have to wait forever, okay? When are they going to play that song by Taylor Swift again? They're probably going to play it soon, but you still got to wait for the radio station or DJ or whatever to play it. You got to wait. Unless you call and request it, if the line is open for you to request. So I'm like, Mommy, we are now in the time where we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to do that anymore. The only thing you got to do is, if you want to just get on YouTube or whatever, it's right there. Speed of light. You can listen to a song when you want to listen to it. So I'm like, your eyes are all big and sad and everything. I know you're not feeling the best. I'm like, but I bet if you give me a song, let's just live in this moment and just know that we are living at a time where if you give me a song, I can play it for you. Alexa now. My mom's been gone she died in 2016. So she's been gone a while, but think about it. Alexa, whatever. You put it in there, you tell them whatever. Automatically you can hear a song that you want to listen to. It was not like that back in the day, guys. So I told her that. And of course she gives me a song, guys. You're going to think this is funny, but she gave me a song by Usher. So I played it for her and she started to feel better. Another song that the two of us really liked at that point was a song by an artist named Anthony Hamilton. The song was, Giving You the Best of Me. Guys, go listen to it and tell me what you think. Giving You the Best of Me. Beautiful song, right? Beautiful song. My mom and I both agreed on it. She's like, oh, play it again. Play it again. We love the song. Anyhow, guys, when it comes to my channel Sunset Songs, one of the reasons why I called my channel Sunset Songs is, again, I truly believe that music has a way it can make you feel good. If you're sad, it can make you feel better. On the other hand, if somebody just broke up with you and you can't help it that you want to listen to a sad song and just soak in that emotion or whatever, then you listen to a sad song. Now I'm thinking about a song by Billy Ocean I think it's called Sad Songs, I think. Guys, just go look it up. Billy Ocean. I think he does have a song. There will be sad songs that will make you cry. Love songs often. You get it. Just look it up. But guys, being that my channel is called Sunset Songs, again, I truly believe that music, oh gosh, guys, I'm getting ready to get that message in 4 minutes and 56 seconds. My live is going to be cut. I may decide to come back on, I'm not sure, but I'm going to quickly say this. I always try to pick a song that's tailored around whatever subject matter I'm going to be talking about for what I call that particular episode, the live, whatever that I'm about to do. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, Spirit, give me a song that is tailored around whatever I'm talking about. And then a song will come to my mind or play in my heart or whatever. And then I deliver it to you guys and tell you guys what it is. Okay. So the sunset song that I'm going to give for this particular episode is going to be a song by Whitney Houston. The song is called Didn't We Almost Have It All? Now, I hope that everybody, nobody's going to be offended, whatever. But to me, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. The reason why I picked this song is because it was said, I was watching a documentary, and I'm talking so fast, I'll have to, whatever. It was said on a documentary that I watched, I forget the name of it, but it was said on the documentary that that it was so said there was a woman, there's a woman who wrote a book. Her name, I'm going to have to look it up. That's going to be for the next live or whatever. But there was some woman that was a mistress of Osama bin Laden. And Osama bin Laden, she says in her book, I've got to find it. You can look it up yourself. In the book, she wrote a book, and she said that Osama bin Laden, she was a mistress of his. He would have wanted her to style her hair like Whitney Houston. He supposedly had this real big crush on Whitney Houston. And I had some things written down that I wanted to tell you, but supposedly Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden was the one who ordered the attacks. So it's not like I'm trying to honor him, but I just thought that, you get what I'm saying. I thought that it was, when I saw the documentary, I'm like, wow, I wonder how many people know that. Like, I'm going to have to come back some other time and let you know who it was, the lady, the mistress, the supposed whatever mistress, the name of the book, more details about it. But supposedly, is it supposedly or supposedly? You get what I'm saying. Osama bin Laden it's suspected, and I looked it up online as well, and it said that it is speculated. Like, there's people that don't believe it, whatever, it's her word or whatever, but she put in her book that that Osama bin Laden had a huge crush on Whitney Houston. He thought that she had a beautiful smile. He thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. He would have this lady, he wanted her to style her hair like Whitney Houston. She also put in her book that he had said, that Osama bin Laden really, he wanted to have harm done to Bobby Brown, who was then, of course, her husband, Bobby Brown. wanted to harm him, because he wanted to be with Whitney. It said that this woman said that he was saying that he wanted to spend large sums of money so he could come to the U.S. and arrange a meeting with Whitney Houston. I just thought that was something to hear. Like, that's a detail. And I'm like, I got to share that on my channel. My channel's called Sunset Songs. He's talking about Whitney Houston. But guys, I also wanted to share with you, and I'll come back another time and share more about Whitney Houston, because the thing of Osama bin Laden, but I've given you the Sunset Song. That song also kind of puts me in mind, for whatever reason. That song, I think, was made in the 80s. Didn't We Almost Have It All by Whitney Houston? But it puts me in the thoughts of, like, the song by Phil Collins, Against All Odds. That's another song that just, the one song made me think of this. You get what I'm saying. But guys, I only have 45 more seconds to talk. And guys, that's kind of funny, because that adds up to be the number 9. 4 and 5 add up to be 9. I just had 45 seconds. Now I have 36 seconds. Yeah, now if you had 36 and you add a 9 to it, that's one of the chakras, or it corresponds with one of the chakras. Guys, my time's about to run out. I had so much more to talk about. I wanted to share with you that Whitney Houston also sang the Star Spangled Banner. I think it was, or was it America the Beautiful? One of those at Super Bowl, I believe it was, don't quote me, may have been Super Bowl 27. Guys, I had so much more to talk about, and I do apologize. Most likely I'm going to have to come back some other time, but this is Shadow Girl.